What I learned from reading Lolita and Turan is that you should never give up on what you believe in. Ultimately, you should never let other people's beliefs be forced upon you. You should go with what your gut says and what your heart says. I also learned about the Islamic culture. The Islamic culture believes that women should wear veils at all times. They believe that without veils, women will easily tempt men into having sex with them, and that women are ultimately the reason for why men are as sexual as they are. They do not believe in women's rights, and they feel as if men are overall superior. Any act of women's rights will be forced into jail or severe punishment. What I also learned from Nafasi was that you should ultimately do what is right for you and your future. You do not control the fate of others, and you should not be responsible for the fate of others. Although it is irresponsible to leave your country in the way it was, you should make the decision that's right for you and your family.
Reading Lolita in Tehran has really made me think about the idea of whether or not it's our duty to protect our homeland, of whether or not we should be responsible for, fixing a bad situation, or whether we should just, leave it alone. It also taught me a lot about Iranian history, and I really like that because my whole life, all I've ever heard about Iran and the Middle East in general has been very negative. So it's been really cool to learn about how they were before the revolution, how they were before they were being oppressed, and I especially loved the books because the girls she described in her book club were very modern and very much like me. And while I could relate to that much more, it also made me incredibly sad to learn about how oppressed they are and how girls in Iran are still oppressed, even though they're fighting back.
What I learned from reading Lolita and Tehran was that you should stick with your beliefs and not be afraid to stand up for them. Um, Throughout the novel, it really opened my eyes on how oppressed the people of Iran were and about how much of the oppression was mainly on the women, as when the revolution started, they lost most of their rights because the religious leaders saw them as westernized. And it also opened me more into the culture of Islam and Iran. Um, it showed that they were, of course, extremists of the religion, and then there were some that weren't as religious and accepted Western beliefs. Overall, I really liked the novel most of the time. It did get boring at some times, but um, I really liked how she incorporated her personal stories into the novel and related them back into the works she was analyzing.